Okay, this is part 2 of Latex Character Basics, and we covered a lot of ground on part 1, and there's a lot to learn. So we're gonna look at the different types of dashes, and you can see the bulleted list here towards the middle of the page. A single dash is going to produce the dash you see in intra-word, and double dash produces one that can be used between the number ranges. A triple dash is a punctuation dash, and the pipe symbol on your keyboard also produces the same. And then in math mode, you go into math mode between two dollar symbols. If you have one dash there, you produce the negative sign or the minus sign, as you can see there. So I'm just kind of going over everything, and then we've got some special characters that you don't need to use any packages to use, or you don't need to be in math mode either. And we're also going to look at how spaces are handled by LaTeX, and using backslash space when just a space is not good enough. And that's our document, about 3 pages altogether. We're going to look at the code guide. Experiment. The best way to learn coding is to experiment and own it. That means apply your own content to the concepts you learn here. File extension, always use the .tex file extension. Code modifications. As we progress through the document, pay attention to the lines with the green comments. Those are the ones to watch. Line numbers to the left of the code blocks. You're going to have line numbers in blue, and do not type those in, otherwise your code will not compile. Code demos. After all the code blocks, you're going to have a PDF documents that were produced from those code blocks. So you shouldn't have any typos or coding errors, because the code you see displayed is the code that actually produced the PDF documents. Okay, and we're going to look at the code for the final document here, and not going over this yet. I just want to give you a glimpse of that. And once again, here's our final document, and we're going to start small. So on line 1, you can see the document class is article, and for the paper size, we're using letter paper, and we're also using 12-point type. And lines 2 and 4 enclose our document, and on line 3, you can see with the first backslash, we're using the LaTeX logo, LaTeX Character Basics Part 2. And there we see it on the screen. That's what we got so far. And on line 3 here, we're going to add a section. So we're going to surround the text we just typed out in a section. So there you can see the section header. And now we're just going to add some more text below it. Nothing too fancy. So, and again, we're at 12 subsection producing different types of dashes, and like we said, on line 17 you can see the single dash, 17 and 18, and 19 you got the double dash, which is continued on 20, and 21, 22 you got the triple dash, and then 23 you got the pipe symbol, and on 24 you got the 24 is the going into to math mode to produce the dash, and that's also continued on line 25. Okay, and we're adding a subsection here, and this is about special characters that don't require us to bring in new packages or switch into math mode. So you could see on line 37 backslash DAG, that gives us the dagger symbol, and backslash text dagger on line 38 does the same thing. So you got the same symbol with two different code entries. And line 39, that's going to show us our copyright symbol. Line 40 is what we call text visible space. It's a way of visualizing where you want a space. It's used a lot for tutorials. So you can see on with the first bullet you got the dagger symbol. The second one is also the dagger symbol. The third, the copyright, and the fourth one is just the text visible space symbol. So it's just another symbol like any others, but it's used in LaTeX tutorials to point out where you're going to have a space, or where you should have a space. Okay, and then that's just basically an explanation of the whole text visible space thing. So going on here, and we look at how spaces are handled by LaTeX, and go into white space, which basically includes tabs, new lines, and spaces. But a single space is handled the same as 100 spaces. There's no difference. You could throw in tabs. It's all considered to be a single space by LaTeX, or LaTeX when it interprets the document. The new lines are different. If you have a bunch of white space characters and you have two or more new lines, that's going to be used to separate paragraphs. So that's how you separate paragraphs in LaTeX. And now we're going to look at using a backslash and a space following it. So at the bottom of this page, you see the backslash symbol followed by the visible space thing. So that basically means a backslash and a space. And oftentimes just the space isn't good enough, and I'll show you why in a minute. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at the text on this. But sometimes just typing a space won't cut it, and I'll show you why. So here, you've got the list numbered 1 through 4, and on the first one you've got backslash LaTeX space type, and on line 2 you basically have the same thing, only you've got more than one space. Remember I said that LaTeX interprets 4 spaces the same as it does 1. So 1 and 2 produce the same result. And what you see there is that it closed the gap. So you might want a space there, but it's not producing the space that you want. And the answer to put the space in there is the backslash on line 3, the backslash followed by a space, and that'll automatically that'll force a space in there. And line 4, you see the space after LaTeX and then a period, and there it's not an issue because the space is actually following the period. It's not following the LaTeX command. So it behaves different, depending on if it's following a period or if a command is before the space is in LaTeX. Okay, and yeah, we're going to look at one more thing here. And here at the bottom, you see LaTeX space LaTeX, and again, everything is crunched together. And you might think that it's a bad way to do that, but it actually makes sense because LaTeX is looking at what came before the spaces is before instead of looking at what comes after it. So it just consistently looks before the space. So it's actually a smart way to do things. Okay, and that's it for the code. So if you want to copy the code and just go ahead and enter it, just hit pause and do it from here. Okay, and that's it for the tutorial. I'm going to go over the document, the finished document, one more time. Okay, and that is it.